In this video, I want to talk about something that I've been struggling with recently, which in short is the idea of consistency over perfection. And what I mean by this is showing up and doing things repeatedly over time versus always striving to do the best thing, to do the perfect thing that we can do. And how this really applies to people is that when we take a large goal, it's made up of small steps. It gets broken down to these micro decisions that require us to show up every day and put in the work. And where a lot of people can get hung up is on needing to do all the little things perfectly and eventually, in most cases, procrastinating the task to another time. The problem with that mindset is that you don't really accomplish anything over time because you'll spend so much time, much more than needed, on the simplest tasks. And so I think social media and the news contribute a lot to this, in that people always see the end result of other people's projects. They see the highlights and they see all the glory that comes with it at the end without really seeing any of the process that went into making it. A classic example is with companies that are considered an overnight success, like Twitter or Uber, companies like that, where people see it and all of a sudden this company's making millions of dollars, but they didn't see the last 10, 15, 20 years that it takes to make this stuff. You look at Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, there's a lot of time that was spent ahead of time to create the end result that they had, and it wasn't from being perfect or doing the right things all the time, but it was showing up and putting in some sort of effort. That's what really led to their results. Ultimately, there's more than enough time for us to do the things that we want to do, but we often aren't willing to show up each day, to put in the work, to be okay with 80% results or 95% of the results. And that holds us back from really accomplishing our goals. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, it's something I've been struggling with recently, needing to do things perfectly instead of just doing them. I know the things that I have to do, so why can't I just do them? And I think really the solution is just being okay with what you would consider subpar results. Because when you add up 80% or 90% over time, that's way greater than the sum of 100% on the few number of days that you actually do that. And so over the course of a year, putting in 80% every day is going to lead to a lot more success than 100% once a week, for example. And so it's really that compounding effect of showing up and doing the right things in a way that's satisfactory to you, but not in a way that's perfect. And so once you've come to that realization and accepted that, then it's really liberating, because then you can accomplish so much more over time. And looking back, it's really quite simple, and you would wonder why you didn't start it earlier. And honestly, time is the biggest asset that we have, and so procrastinating does nothing but putting in effort on something. Let's take health and fitness, for example. People often won't go and work out because they don't have enough time to do it, to do the perfect routine, or they're not feeling well, whatever the excuse may be. And not showing up isn't going to do anything for them. But say they would plan to work out for an hour and they can only do 45 minutes. Showing up for those 45 minutes and doing something, just being there and doing something, is going to lead to way more success over time in achieving their goals, rather than only going on the day when it works for them and that they're feeling great. I think those are really all my thoughts on the topic. It's really just as simple as knowing what to do and showing up and being okay with doing it below a perfect standard. Thank you for watching the video. I'll link to a blog post that I made earlier kind of around this topic, and I'll talk to you later.